Darius here. Today I'm going to take you guys with me for a little session in the park. We're going to talk about some trauma that we've been going through, among other things. But yeah, we're about to get lit. I have my Red Bull, among other things. So we're going to say that. Oh my god, why gas prices so high now? Like, I just spent like $23 and my tank isn't even on fucking full yet. Y'all, I kid you not. I remember last year around this time when Rona was going around, gas was $1.49. Now it's like fucking $1.50 something. Like, what the fuck? Your boy is driving a 2008 Ford. Like, this motherfucker drinks. Like, you see that shit? It's halfway. And I just put like $23 in it. The daily struggle. Yeah, we are at this little trail. Well, it's not really a trail. Well, it's the end of one that goes through the town that I stay in or whatever. And it's a really cool place. I used to come here a couple months ago. I used to come here like every day and just walk down and, go by the bridge and, maybe light up a DB or, whatever the kids are calling it these days. But, what is going on? It is Darius, and today we're out having a little nature sesh. I'm going to talk about, what happened since I've been gone. And today, I'm not trying to give y'all no gimmicks. I'm not trying to be this. I'm really just trying to be genuine as I can. Just using this as somewhat as a audio video diary, if you will say. But okay. But first off, I just wanted to say I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. I hope you guys are staying safe in these crazy times we are, you know, living in. But yeah, back to my grandfather. Okay, so my grandfather, I'm gonna say this. I'm close with a lot of my family. Like, my family is really small, but it's like, we're all kind of tight knit per se. And I would see him like almost every day because he stays in town with my grandma. Like, I would always go over there, see them. I used to, buy them lunch and shit when I used to get off work. And, like, I was really close to them. And my granddaddy, okay, it really all started back in 2012 when he found out that he had prostate cancer. Because my granddaddy was 71 when he died. And he was the type of person, he wasn't going to like really let you know if something was wrong with him. Like, people knew and I knew, but he didn't know that I knew, because my grandma was like, he doesn't want his kids to worry about him. And actually, at first they said that the cancer wasn't that bad. Like, the doctor said that if he would have gotten his prostate like taken out like beforehand, it may have not got as bad as it did. But it all just kind of happened so quick. It was like, he was relatively good. Over the years, I knew he had been, going to chemotherapy. But my granddad, he wasn't like an elderly man. Like, he fixed cars, he still drove around. He did everybody taxes in town like every year and ran a little business. Like, he was a very healthy, bright, dude. And it really got bad like back in, I want to say, like August, September, around that time, because he had admitted, because he told me that he had not had a manual bowel movement since like July. because like I'm not sure how that worked, but like his bowels like stopped working. Cause I knew like my grandma was trying to cook him like healthy foods and stuff, you know, cause he can't eat a lot. But I didn't know it was getting that bad. And then I remember like back around, I'm gonna say like in October and September, I was taking him to his little doctors and chemo appointments. Cause like my grandma, she drives, but she's nervous, and it's like the town over. So I would get up like 3 times a week for those 2 months, like every week, at like 7, 6 o'clock, and make sure he's at his appointments at 8. You know, I'll wait, you know, go get a Starbucks coffee, you know, chill in the car, whatever. And then I would take him back to town, you know, get his medicine, and then, you know, he would, you know, go back to my grandmother's house, and, you know, that would repeat. Then it seemed like it got worse. Like he started talking less. Cause I'll be like, Granddad, what's going on, Granddad? And he'll be like, son, I'm in pain. He'll be like, I'm in pain, son. I don't feel like talking. I'm like, okay. And then it got to the point where he had to go to the hospital, and he was in there for like a week, and came back home for a little bit. But that didn't last for long, because like that last month of November and the end of October, he was in the hospital. And then it went from me taking him to his appointments and his chemotherapy to me, you know, going to see him at the hospital, because of Corona, you could only have one person. And my grandma was really the main one that was going back and forth. And, you know, I wanted to get her a break, you know. I love my grandparents. I love my granddad. So I was like, you know, I'll go stay some days with him. And y'all, when I say I have never just lost somebody that was that close to me, but seeing him in that hospital, like it just got worse. Like it was just a feeling of like you know what's gonna happen, because it was just like at first it was like it was relatively okay, you know, like he was talking to me and we'll have conversations and, you know, whatnot, and then he started talking less and like talking less, and he always told me that he was in pain. Like we'll just be sitting there in the room, and then he'll be like, son, I can't do nothing for myself. I can't do nothing for myself. And he started crying because he needed my help for him to eat. And he was always in pain. Like he was in so much pain. He was like, son, I'm hurting. Y'all need to worry about y'all selves. Y'all can't be hung up on me. And, you know, and I think at that point he knew what was gonna happen, but it was just hard seeing him like that. Cause my granddad was the type of person where, like, you know, he did things, you know, like for himself. Like he didn't want people, you know, going back and forth and doing stuff for him. And, you know, even when I came out as gay, like my family was very accepting. Now, I will say, like my granddad, he had some questions to ask me, but all in all, he accepted me. You know, he never treated me no different, you know, for anybody else. And yeah, he was just getting really weak. Like he was rotting away. Like he just couldn't do anything. Like he was always in pain. He couldn't like really eat much. Like he couldn't eat anything, and that was really the problem. And, you know, I remember the doctors coming in there and they were saying it got bigger, and it's going, your intestines is going to end up ripping out into your system, and you go, you know, septic poisoning. And I remember that them last couple times I did go to see him, like he didn't even just talk. He was just like sit there like this, and I'll be like, nurse, he in pain, he needs some medicine or something, and, you know, he'll just be laying there. And then I remember I was with my friends one day, and my mom called, and they was like, you might want to, you know, come see your grandparents. Cause they said the doctor said that granddad didn't have that long to live. That was like he only had like a couple months to live or whatever. And, you know, then he came back to the house. He came back to my grandma's house, and, you know, the family came over there, and we was like, you know, talking to him, and he, you know, just all being there as a family or whatever. And then he went back to the hospital, and soon after that, I think that was when he really knew that he was, like, it wasn't going to be that much longer, because he was telling my grandmama, you know, you got to go on. I wish I could stay here with you forever. And oh my God, hold up, y'all, I dropped something. You know, he was telling my grandmama, you know, you gotta You know, you gotta live for yourself, and I love you and all that stuff. And I remember that last day. This was my granddaddy died November the 22nd. That was a Friday, Saturday. I think it was Friday. It was Friday. And I remember that Wednesday, no, that Tuesday that week, he wanted to come home because he wanted to die in his house. He didn't want to just die in a hospital. And then, he came to my grandma's house for a couple days, and I was with him the last night he was alive. But after he came there, he was really weak. Like, he couldn't eat anything. He could barely talk. Like, we had to like change him. Like, he couldn't move or do nothing. Like, we had to literally wipe his ass, and just had to look at him. Just, I don't know. It was just really disturbing to see him like that. And I remember the last night he was alive. It was a Thursday night, and my mom had stayed in my grandma's house with me and her. So it was me, my grandma, and my mom. Well, my mom left around 12, but I know I told my grandma that I wanted to spend the night, so she could get some rest. So I had, slept in the room with my granddad. Like, I slept on the chair and he was in the bed, and they had like this little oxygen machine by the bed in the house, and I went to sleep on the couch, and I had to get up though. I had to get up and shake him because he was throwing up. And now that I look back at it, I think that was actually like feces he was throwing up, because it was like brown, and he could barely talk. And he was like, D. He was like, D. He was like, water, water. And he started throwing up, and he had to like tilt his head so he won't, choke. And y'all, that scared the fuck out of me. It scared me so bad. And I really felt bad for my grandma. And I know that morning around like 6 o'clock, I had got off the chair and I had went in the living room and laid down on the couch. And soon after that, my grandma got up, and I remember she woke me up because I heard her in the room like an hour later. She was like, Bill, Bill, Bill. Like, she just kept calling his name. She was like, Bill, 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 wake up. And then he was like, yeah. And then she was like, Bill, don't scare me like that. I thought you left. Yeah, it was so hard because you could really just hear it in her voice. And now that I look back at it, I think that was the last thing that he said. Because it was like that day he died. Because I had went to the store to get my grandmama something to eat around like 11 that morning. And then when I came back, it was like, he stopped breathing. And he did stop breathing. And it was so sad because his son was on the way. His son was like my uncle. He was like 10 minutes away, because him and his wife stayed, like 2 hours away. But they was like 20 minutes away. They didn't get to see him for a final time. And I busted out crying, and my uncle, he hugged me. And that really meant a lot. And my grandmama, she was crying, and we was all just standing there like it was like a movie. Like, I kid you not, it was just so surreal. And it just really makes you put a perspective that nobody's going to be here forever. It doesn't matter what is next after this life, or we get reincarnated. What you are now is very fickle. And after that, I was a wreck. I was a wreck. That was one of the things that kind of drove me to like a little depression. Like, it got to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to change my clothes. I didn't want to change my underwear. Like, I was really like just down in the dumps. And it's a day at a time. But it's still just kind of weird, just him not being here. Because I was always so used to seeing him around. So it's like, damn, granddad ain't here. And I've been, staying with my grandmama for the past couple months, to keep her company. Even though she got grandkids, they like little, so yeah. And yeah, I'm just trying to, get through that. Like, I know people die every day. I know this, but it's just with me. Like I said, I've never lost somebody that was close to me. Sure, I've been to funerals, but they've been for like, like distant cousins and, aunties and stuff like that. People that I didn't really know. This is somebody that used to give me a ride to work at all my jobs. My granddad would drop me off. He would pick me up when I was working at Popeyes, when I was working at Burger King. He'd be outside, and I'd be like, Granddaddy, be here in 10 minutes. And then he'll be there in 10 minutes. He'll be like, son, you had me waiting 30 minutes. And I said, Granddad, it's been 5 minutes. It don't matter. You told me to come. But at the end of the day, he always came. If I asked him for something, like I was like, Granddad, I need $20. Now, don't get me wrong. He gonna give you a whole speech. But he'll give it to you. He would. But, you know, trying to get out of that. I might actually be moving to another state soon. So stay tuned for that. You know, I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say I'm okay, I'm peachy Dory and all that shit, but honestly, it's a daily process, and you know, just life. Like I don't know, time is just moving by so fast, and I feel like I need to be accomplishing more things. The time can go like that, and you know, we never know when it's our time. You can get hit by a fucking car like any day, and like, that's it. But that was pretty much all I really wanted to say about it that I can. I'm gonna get emotional, and I will not get emotional in public, okay? But again, I just want to thank all the people that, you know, watch my channel, and I really do appreciate it. I'm not doing this to be, you know, to get like the big money or to try to be like that. Of course I'm not, because I don't have those many views, but they are a lot to me, honestly. I just use this as like a little diary, and everything that I make, I like it. So, you know, but I do appreciate the people out there that do enjoy my content and do enjoy my black, gay, creative ass. Even though I can be a downer sometimes, but you know, you guys have been with me for, you know, about 2 years now on this channel. And I hope everybody has a good day. Darius, X World, XOXO. And we out. Okay.
La main gauche est plaquée sur l'épaule, la main droite est posée sur sa cuisse. Quand je fais mal, je l'appelle, c'est apaisant.